We're live now.
Oh, fabulous afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Stepford. Who's with us?
I'll let you know when people are.
You need to let me know when people have arrived. They should be there waiting.
There's people watching now.
There's people watching. Fabulous. Let's just get that off. Afternoon. Who's joined us?
You can guess who's first.
Oh.
I don't have to tell you who's first.
Go on, tell me.
You should know.
Russell.
Yeah.
It's never Russell. First off the starting block, even in there. Russell, what are you doing to be able to be there before anybody else, for Christ's sake? Who else has joined us?
There's loads watching.
Right, because of the first thing I'm going to make today...
Shanice said you're late.
I'm not late, Shanice. That's David's
my fault.
David said it was 4 o'clock and he wouldn't let me start. And I said it's 4 o'clock by that clock. And he said, no, it's not. The phone says it's not 4 o'clock. So I knew it was wrong. Right, I'm going to have to press on really quick because the first thing, we could talk and sort of do hellos and everything halfway through. Because the first thing I'm going to make takes a little while to actually do and cook. So obviously I want to cook it in real time with you. And the other day somebody asked for me to make a bread pudding. And I don't actually like traditional English bread pudding. I think it's awful, to be honest and truthful. It's like a lump of crap in a bowl. And rock hard and chewy and vile. So I'm doing a much lighter one for you that again a dear friend of mine in America gave me the recipe about 30 odd years ago. So I'm going to do that one. So, let me just get my little handy dandy rolling out mat. Anybody joined us while I'm setting up?
There's loads of people watching.
Anybody asking anything while I'm setting up?
No, they're all just saying hello and...
They're all just saying hello. How nice. God bless you. Right, I'll grab a mixing bowl. So, I'm going to start with the wet ingredients, which I've also written down because I have a tendency when I'm doing this to forget something. So, you're going to start with 6 eggs. Okay, I know at the moment eggs are hard to get and it's a bit extravagant, but this is quite a big dish and it freezes fabulously and it will last in the fridge as well. So that's 6 eggs. You're going to need your measuring cups, and you are going to need measuring cups for this, okay? If you've not got measuring cups, Google the amount I'm giving you on Google to fluid ounces or something like that. It will give you that. Okay, so you've got 6 eggs in there, and you're going to need 3 cups of either half and half, which you can't get in the UK. So what we'll do is we're going to do...
Yes, I know that, Barry.
What's Barry asking?
One of the bulbs have gone in the chandelier. He said it's not like you.
Yeah, it does. They tend to just pop. So that's 1 cup of double cream to 2 cups of milk. Okay, that milk's a little bit short in there, so we'll top it with cream. So basically, your 3 cups of milk and cream mixed. Okie doke. Into your eggs. Give that a little beat. Make sure the eggs are really broken down. Is anybody asking anything?
Yeah, James said, what are you making first?
What am I making first? Sorry, it should be on the list. It's a brioche bread pudding with soft fruits. I'm using blueberries and raspberries to actually use up the raspberries and the blueberries that came from downstairs in the pub when we had to close, that we used for the cocktails and the gins and things. So I happen to have quite a lot of them at the moment.
Mark said it's in the dark.
Who's in the dark?
Mark said you're in the dark, so I'm going to try and move somewhere else.
Right, how about there?
Is that better? That's better.
There.
Yeah, I can tell that's better.
Right, well then I'll turn this way then now. See, after we'd propped all that and it's all going wrong, it's all going apeshit. So, then you're going to need 3/4 of a cup, because usually a bread pudding has sugar in it, but I'm using a maple syrup. This is Aunt Jemima's light, so it's half the sugar content. And you want 3/4 of a cup of maple syrup.
Paul said he can't see these items on his ration card.
Rich Whitehouse?
Yeah.
Well, they are. If you've got a store cupboard that's built up, like I've always told everybody, there'd be no need for panic buying and ridiculous rationing. So, you grab that.
Charles from Spain said, can you can you post a link of a typical cup set you'd buy on Amazon?
Yeah, there you go. I will post the link, but there's the cup sets. And Charles, I know at the moment you can't get out, but all the Chinese stores in Spain actually sell sets of cup measurements. They're in every single shop in Spain. But I will post a link to get the cup measurements, and I buy them off eBay, which is cheaper, not Amazon, but Amazon do sell them, okay? So you've got that in there. You also want a pinch of salt. Don't use a coarse ground salt. Use, don't use kosher salt or anything like that. Just a couple of little pinches of ordinary salt. Where did I put my little rice? See, because I'm doing normally, I have everything pre-prepped when we do the one on a Sunday, and because I'm doing it all in real time, I have got a few things out just to sort of remind you. Going to zest a lemon into that. Okay, only get the zest, don't get the pith. Please don't take the pith. Right, any questions while I'm doing this?
Flirt alert.
Yeah.
Full wealth.
Full wealth. It is flirt alert. I am in full wealth as well. See, at times of crisis, Kyle, you can always rely on Raquel. Honestly. See, an FDN has been shut down.
Paul Whitehead said, his storeroom's full of your adult pads. Can you eat them?
Yeah, of course you can, darling. They're nicer if I've actually used the adult pasta and pissed them through first. That really does make it a bit more of a little zing, doesn't it?
Ronnie said, Ronnie, hello from Spain.
Hi, Ronnie. How are you, love? Is
Hi,
everybody
Maggie.
coping, by the way? Because I've seen a lot of people, they've only been in England, we've only been locked in for a few days, and I've seen people that are complaining already. Get a life, please.
Shanice said, have you been nicking all the barcodes from Tesco's to make that top?
Yeah, I never thought of that, Shanice. How fabulous. Right, this is a brioche loaf. It's a store-bought brioche loaf. I haven't made it before anybody jumps in. You can either use a brioche or challah bread, anything like that that's a sweet, soft bread. I find brioche works the best. And the trick to do with it is to actually, I bought that, well, I didn't go out because I'm not allowed out at the moment. David picked that up in Sainsbury's for me yesterday, and I've left it out on the countertop so it slightly dries itself out.
Ian's watching from Spain.
Okay. Which
Torremolinos.
Oh, my Enid. How fabulous.
Should I sis just popped round for a vodka? Not interested in cooking. My husband does that for me.
Well, he will do being German.
Get him working. It's about time he does something.
Right, so you're going to chop your whole brioche loaf into sort of lumps, right? No need to do all this fancy schmancy slicing and all that carry on.
Jeremy, you need to get a better phone then.
Can he not get it on? Oh,
no, for some
can't
reason.
get it on the television, Jeremy. Oh my God. God bless you, darling. Jeremy's one of our staff, by the way. And I'm really missing the staff at the moment. I really am.
I'm fine, Kyle, thank you.
Seems really strange not seeing the staff every day. Right, into your 6 eggs, your 3 cups of cream and milk, your zest of lemon, pinch of salt. You're going to go into that with 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. Okay. So
Sky said hi, Glamother.
Hiya, Sky. Hello to Fort Lauderdale joining us. Hello, my darling. Are you in lockdown, Sky? Or are you actually allowed out? Are you running around Wilton Manors with just a wig on and no makeup? What?
Mark from Nurku said, black and white stripes are a no on TV.
Or a what? A no?
A no on TV.
It's navy blue, Mark, not black and white. So get it right.
It does look black.
Right, so you've got all your wet ingredients in a bowl, and what you're going to do now is you're going to lob the lot into the bowl. You need a spoon. Okay, so is everybody following this so far? What are you showing on the floor?
Dylan.
Oh, you're showing Dylan. Why are you showing Dylan? Dylan's
It's just looked up there.
Right. So make sure when you put the whole thing in the wet ingredients, you give it a good old mix.
Sending love from sunny Florida,
So that
Sky said.
it actually absorbs it, okay? Now then, you can use either frozen or fresh blueberries. I've got about a quart of blueberries here.
Anthony said, what time's Peyton Place on his board?
Not until tonight, Anne. That, of course, is Anthony McWilliams, my oldest and dearest friend.
Yes, Jeremy, it should work.
She really is. Anthony is old, and she's nothing more than a bed-hopping, husband-stealing slut. So, and she lives in Collier's doing dead flowers for people. So, you're going to take a nice oven-proof dish, must be oven-proof, and I use spray oil. If you've not got spray, just butter it. Okie doke. Give it a good old spray. And then you're going to lob this lot.
Sky said, full lockdown, me and Electra haven't killed each other yet.
Well, I am shocked. I am shocked. I've actually seen Electra's temper tantrums in the past at the district many years ago. Reminder of that. I've seen her actually go off on one. So on that you've got your blueberries. Everything is all in the one dish. So simple. You've lobbed it all in. I forgot the other bowl. It needs a bit of a topping. I've also got a glut of fresh raspberries as well. So if you have got some fresh fruit, I am going to cob a few raspberries on as well. The more fruit, honestly, the nicer it is. So we'll just put those back in the fridge.
Loads of people saying hello.
Is everybody following this so far, or am I going too quick? The reason I'm going quick with this is because it's got to go in the oven for 35 to 40 minutes. And I want it to actually be baked by the end of the show for you, so I can actually show it you. In a bowl, 2 teaspoons of sugar. Now, this isn't real sugar. I use Stevia 100% calorie-free sugar because one, I think it's sweet enough. 2, it's not exactly very dietary. And I'm not trying to make everybody fat while we're locked in. So I always cook things with the Stevia. And into that, a teaspoon of cinnamon.
Angie's watching for Better Madness.
Hi, Ange. Are the kids with you, love?
Playing games with the kids. Love
As long
to you
as
as
you're
well,
not playing
Ange.
games with Sue. I know what these lesbian games can end up like. Right, so once you've mixed that in a little bowl, sprinkle your cinnamon.
Jeremy said it's trying to connect to the fire stick upstairs.
Sugar.
Are you, Dan?
Over the top. Which Dan's watching?
Coco.
Hiya, Cokes. Hey, baby girl, how are you? Okay, so I'll bring that into camera to show you. That's what you've got before it's baked, okay? So if you've lost the amount of ingredients into the oven, the oven's preheated and it is on fan assisted oven 180, okay?
Shanice said, is the fruit not going to burn?
No, the fruit will just cook through, sweetheart. That's all it does, it just cooks through. So we've got that out of the way. So I've got a couple of seconds while I clear the decks.
Dan said he's surviving.
You're surviving. You've only been in a couple of days.
I thought Coco was going live the other night, Dan.
What is absolutely wrong with these people? 2 days and I'm surviving. I can't cope. You're all off your freaking rockers.
Miss you too, Jane.
If honestly, is that Jane from our pool team?
Yeah.
Hiya, Jane. You alright, love?
Dean said, why is this not on TV?
Which Dean?
Dean Michael Clark.
Oh, well, it should be, Dean, you see. Should be writing in, instead of all that shite they're showing you how to make on this morning, with that fat woman's husband telling us what crap we're going to actually make. An unadulterated load of old balls.
Dean Spain said, on lockdown, it's not so nice in Spain, but this is cheering me up. Cheering my day up. Sat in the bedroom watching with Vaseline on the door handle so the kids can't get in.
That's absolutely fabulous. I love that. Absolutely love it. Right, so that is our brioche bread pudding is in the oven. That will take about 35 to 40 minutes to cook till the custard's set through it. Hopefully, I'll have it out the oven before the end of the show to be able to show you, because I know a lot of you
Michael
off to see Boris.
Michael from America said 180. Is that 350?
Yes, sorry, Michael, I forgot to give the American equivalent. It's 350 in America, 180 in the UK. That's fan assisted. And Michael, know who this is. This recipe was given to me, Michael, by Paula Dean when I spent a summer in the south with her, and she gave me this and quite a few other recipes. So it's one of Paula Dean's, and I don't know whether she's actually ever done it on TV, but I tell you who does do one very much like this is Jida, and she's fabulous as well. Right, so we're going to press on, and seeing I've got America watching, you're going to have to sort of move that way now because I have to use the food processor.
It might go a bit dark
okay. So have we gone dark or not?
though. You might be okay.
Yeah. Oh, we are.
Can't do nothing about the light. I've not got a light attached to my
Right,
forehead.
you see, the trouble is we've not got a light attached, and this kit.
Losing connection. Yeah, that's
Is that better?
Yeah, that's.
Is that better
Yeah,
for
yeah,
you?
yeah.
Okay. Right, we're going to make biscuits. Biscuits are an American sort of bread recipe for those people that don't know. Biscuits that you dip in your coffee or whatever. It's a biscuit. The nearest thing in England to sort of get this to you is a scone. Or a scone, however you want to pronounce it. Okay? So I use a food processor. It's just easier. If you want to rub the flour and fat in by hand, entirely up to you. And we use these because I've made soup for dinner, which I'll show you in a minute, and I'm going to put the recipe for the chicken broth, the Scotch broth soup. I'll put that onto my page later on tonight, so if you want to make the soup as well. We use this instead of dumplings because we don't like dumplings because they're too stodgy, and two, the fat content in dumplings is about 5 times the amount, so it's a no-no in this house.
Dean Ellis.
Yeah, I do.
Joey says, can you book Nana for a day of cooking lessons?
Yeah, we
Also,
should
the
do
sending
that.
love. Sending love to you too as well.
Thank you, my darling, and the same to you. So in the food processor, I'm going to stick in 12 ounces of all-purpose flour. Again, this recipe is in ounces, not cups this time. So if you're in America and you've not got a scale, Google the equivalent from the ounce to the cup, because when I was given this recipe, it was in ounces, because it's a really old one. Okay? So you
Loads of people are saying they're loving this show and everything.
Oh, fabulous. Well, we'll have a little chat in a minute, definitely. So in there, I've just put you 12 ounces of flour. You're going to need 3 ounces.
It's not. It's coffee.
What did they think it was?
Vodka.
I'm just going to nudge past. You're going to either have to walk one way or the other. I'll grab what I need.
It's coffee, Diane.
I'll grab what I need out of the fridge. Which Diane was that?
Fowler.
Oh, right, Diane. Right, into the food processor. Really cold. All ingredients must be really, really cold. The butter must come from the fridge. It's real butter. It's rock hard. Chopped up into little pieces. There is 3 ounces.
Joanne is asking, is this biscuits and gravy biscuit?
Yes, biscuits and gravy biscuits. Now you know what I'm talking about. And there's lots and lots of different variations, but you can use this as a bread. It doesn't have to be just served with soup. You can serve with gravy, with fried chicken like we do. You can also use them for sandwiches if they're cutting out. The kids love them. And I'm going to zap it up a little bit. You can make them just plain, but I'm going to sort of change it as we go along.
You like them, Dean?
So in there, what does it like?
The cake stands.
Oh, I collect them. I collect. It's called impression glass, and I collect it. So they're all antique. Right. So into there.
So will I, Jane.
So what does Jane want?
Jane said she'll need a vodka by the end of this.
Right. A couple of pinches of salt. Again, a soft salt, not kosher salt. Into there after your salt, you are going to use 3/4 of a teaspoon. I have these little teaspoon measures, which I think are fabulous.
Which you can just about read even with your glasses on.
Yes, even with my glasses on, I can just about see which one it is. You want 3/4 of a teaspoon of baking soda.
Hi, Michelle.
Which is...
Michelle in Spain.
Hi, Michelle. Hi, my darling. How are you? 3/4 of a teaspoon of baking soda, which in the UK is, what's it called? Bicarbonate soda. Okay, so you have 3 teaspoons of that. And then you want 1.5 teaspoons of cream of tartar.
Roxy River said this show needs to be taken up by ITV or Channel 4.
Roxy, it really should, shouldn't it? It's an absolute freaking disgrace what they're allowing on the television. Right, we're going to get a little bit of a noise now while I just put the food processor on. Zap it through till you get the fat goes into it so it's sort of the size of peas.
Michelle said, Michelle from Spain, what is kosher salt? Asking for a friend, lol.
Yeah, Michelle, like, you need to know what freaking kosher salt is. This is my friend Michelle, who tells everybody she lives at Riviera del Sol. She lives in Calahonda. And she used to be a bunny girl. That was an excuse, I think. So you've got your flour, your other powdered ingredients, your fat, everything. Tip it from there now into...
Michael from America
a mixing bowl.
said, why cream of tartar?
The cream of tartar reacts with the buttermilk, so we're going to put buttermilk in and it will make them a lot lighter, darling, the two together. You would get sort of the same equivalent if you used baking powder, but baking powder I think has a slight bite to it and it makes it a little bit more cakey. So this recipe is a really, again, it was given to me by a friend, not a famous chef, but it was given to me by a friend in Florida that we used to call the Turban Lady. And she bought the very first condominium way back in the 50s when there was nothing else in Fort Lauderdale but this block on the beachfront. So she gave me this recipe and she grew up on a plantation, so that's where we've got it.
Michelle said she doesn't live in Callahonda.
You live in Callahonda, lady. Nothing more and nothing less.
The lower end of it.
Sat there with your airs and graces, for God in heaven's sake. I'm just going to bring all the equipment over here that I'm going to need so that David can swap over there.
Where am I going now?
You will go back over there in a minute.
It'll be too dark though. People are saying it's too dark.
What, it's too dark if they film from there?
Yeah, I think so.
So walk around and see them while I'm putting everything on the table. I'm going to stand here though, darling. I can't stand
What, in the pot?
No, that side of the table, honey.
I'll have to come this side then, maybe.
Do you want to go that side? How's that
That's
for
fine.
You? Is that fine?
That's the best light it's been so far.
Oh my God, I'm fucking thrilled.
So the lighting technicians just told me that.
Yeah, I have which lighting technician?
Me.
How's it? I'm absolutely thrilled for you that your lighting's good. Okay, so you've got your dry ingredients in there for your biscuits. We're going to ump them up a little bit.
Aye, Sue.
Into there, I have got a whole bunch of green onions, scallions, spring onions, wherever you're from, whatever you want to go. A whole bunch chopped up.
Sue likes the kitchen. Well, she loves the kitchen.
I call a pool cue.
Pool and crib team.
Well, I've seen some things she does with a pool cue, does our Sue?
David's told me.
Yeah, David told me exactly what you do with a pool cue. And then into that, you want either 3/4 of a cup of a parmesan. This is just Parmigiano Reggiano. It's nothing.
Dried parmesan as well.
No, that's fresh, darling.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I don't use dry. Or if you're not really a lover of parmesan, you can use a cheddar. Okay.
Always, Mark.
Make sure it's just all brought together, and they're all well tossed, as they say. And you can't beat tossing something in the middle of the afternoon in the Stepford kitchen. You really can't. This is buttermilk. Okay, it can be difficult to get in the UK. Most supermarkets sell it in a carton. I'm lucky to get it from the milkman. If you can't get hold of buttermilk, use full fat milk and sort of half full fat milk in a jug, 2 tablespoons of white vinegar, and leave it, and it will turn it into buttermilk. Okay, because it's only to make the acidity so that they actually rise well. Okay. Don't lob the whole thing in one go.
Michelle, we have plenty, thanks.
What does she have to?
Do you have any toilet rolls?
Thousands, because we've got a pub, so there's cupboards full downstairs. Just put your liquid in gently. And with a knife. A bit. And I sort of like to mix with a knife because you want this to stay as cold as possible. And if you actually start putting your hands in it, you're going to melt the butter, and you don't want the butter to melt, okay? Right.
Roxy said he's still getting all the chainmail shit.
Yeah, I am getting chainmail shit. I'm absolutely sick to the back teeth of freaking chainmail on Facebook telling me, do you want to do this? Do you want to send that? This circle of love. Send this for the NHS. Send this to keep this teddy bear going. Have you got Santa's fucking knob size? I'm not interested. Stop sending them, mate. I won't admit to them. I won't send anything on. I won't pass anything on. I will face while I'm talking to people.
Gary Carrington said, just joined. What's the bitch brewing up now?
So, well, Gary Carrington, I'm not going over it all again. You should have watched from 4 o'clock. You had enough notice. As you just noticed, I actually ran out of buttermilk. So, I've just gone on with a little bit of milk.
James said, can you find the recipe anywhere?
No, it's on my page. It's my recipe. I will put all the amounts and the ingredients in my folder, Jane, and then you can make it, okay?
Michael from America, it's like chemistry class.
Well, of course, Michael, it has to explain. So that's what you end up with in the bowl. Your dough should be sort of tacky, sticky, but not wet. If it's soaking wet, you've put far too much fluid in. So do like I've just shown you, and do the fluid little bit by bit.
Paul Whitehead said, do you like nut butter?
I don't mind nut butter as long as it's dark brown. Right, when you've done it, pat it out a little bit and you're going to make 2 folds. One that way and bring it over again, okay? Now you can pat that out with your hand. It's easy enough. I prefer a rolling pin because you get a more even surface, okay? Now then, what we're going to do is, normally...
Michelle, I can't mention that.
What does Michelle...
No, it's David, what is Terry cooking, by the way?
I'm making buttermilk biscuits, Michelle. We're going to do these in squares because if you cut them out with cookie cutters, which I've got out to show you, which you can do, traditionally they should be round. Okay, so if you use the cookie cutter, you end up with either a piece left that isn't big enough to make one. You have to keep refolding, and the more you refold this, the more it dries out, and you don't want it to dry out. So I discovered over the years, it's just easier and simpler to make squares.
Jane Freeman said, Terry should do a cookery show regular, but it'll give my husband ideas, lol.
Ideas of what though, Jane Freeman? Cooking or sexual activities? Is he one of these men that gets turned on by you being in the kitchen? Onto a lined cookie sheet.
I bet you do, Michelle, as well.
What's Michelle doing?
Should I use my rolling pin for other use? It's great on small children. Just kidding.
I'm not. I have been known to
See, Roxy knows we like a rolling pin.
Which Roxy?
Roxy.
Rivers?
No.
Oh, that Roxy. Is that Roxy watching?
Yeah.
Hiya, Rox. How are you, my darling?
Only a handful of us know that, Roxy.
How are you coping, Rox? Because you had a bit of a shitty day yesterday, didn't you, chicken? So I'll just rinse my hands. Right, now there's different ways. You can either brush those with egg and milk or anything like that, but I actually like to do something a bit different because I think it gives it a better flavour. We'll just get rid of the Tupperware mat and the bowl.
Michael said this is an American recipe. Do you ever serve it with grits?
Yeah, oh, I love grits, but David hates them.
No.
David absolutely hates grits. He loathes and detests them. So, no. What are you showing over there?
Michael from America likes the windowsills.
The windowsills? Oh, well, they're having shelves put over them and the glass is shot in that window, so it's got to be redone. So, on the top of these now, when you've had them out for a few minutes, you'll notice it is starting to rise. With the end of your finger, make a little indentation in the top of each one. I use my knuckle.
Jeremy said, what's grits?
Oh, Google it, Jeremy. I really haven't got the time to start explaining grits now, for crying out loud. Right. On the top of each one, a little, where you made your little indentation, just put a little bit of soft butter. This will just glaze them.
No, I'm not, Sue. All goes in the dishwasher. Sue's asking if I'm doing the washing up after you've done the biscuits.
Sue, do we look like a household, Sue, that would actually do washing up, please? I can find much better things to do. Right? So they're ready for the oven. And they're going to go in the oven at 225.
Roxy River said, these are looking good. I'm going to be licking the TV in a minute.
They're going in the oven at 225 now for about 20 minutes or so. So there you go. So both things are in the oven. We sort of up to snuff.
It's too dark over here.
Right, then you can move about them now till you have fun. Anybody got any questions?
I've been giving them to you.
Do we have anything else then? Because
no, there's
now
a lot of people liking and listening and...
All we have to do now is actually wait for the oven, so... I just need to put this away, because it's getting on my nerves. I can't stand things hanging about the kitchen. I don't mind the stuff in the sink until it gets washed. But I hang my my rolling mat goes on a hanger. It's just easier to store. So, what we got? Why don't you sit down at the table, chicken? And then, I'll tell you what I'll do. I will show everybody the soup. Now I've clipped.
Jane,
Well, both my ovens are the same. I've actually put them in the top oven, which I've never baked in. So if these come out wrong, please don't scream at me, because I've never baked in the top oven before. Probably because I always use the bottom oven. So I'm just tediously wondering how the hell they're going to come out.
Yes, I know it's dark, Mark. I'm trying to walk around the kitchen so it gets,
So how you like
gets
the light
light.
there?
I'm fine here.
Is that okay? I'm just going to check my oven. Right, our brioche bread is doing very well. I will get some more coffee. So anybody want to know anything else while we're sort of waiting for the oven and things? Yay, nay?
You look so organised, Maxine said.
Which Maxine? Zimmerman?
Yeah.
Hiya, Max. How's Viv? She okay?
Glad your cooking show's back, Fanny Craddock. That's Mark Sherwood.
Thank you, Mark. It's slightly different than the other cooking shows, though, because the other ones we were really little sweeteners, by the way, best value for money. It's different than doing the other cooking shows. The ones I did before for YouTube, we were sort of pre-prepped and pre-organised, and everything was in front and in advance, and I'd got one to show you that I'd made earlier. And just because, as I said, I will get so much bad press if at the moment when there's shortage of things in the shop, if I'm making one before and one afterwards and people go, so how much food are you making? Are you wasting it? Everybody jumps on me back. So we're trying to do everything that we're doing at the moment in real time, and sort of using things that will either store well, go in the freezer. Well, if you live on your own, you can freeze it and cut it on my friend Roxy and my friend Mark in Spain. It's easy to store, freeze it off, refrigerate it, and it will last a good week in the fridge, longer in the freezer. In portions, don't freeze the whole bowl, because obviously you'd have to get a freaking saw out to saw it out. So.
We can't wait to be back open either, Sue.
Oh God, no. Sue, there was a wonderful thing. I've got to say hello, by the way, to everybody in Spain who is having a far worse time of it than everybody over here moaning. Moaning the tits off in England. They've been locked in a day, for crying out loud. I've done 3 months before shutting the house and never left the front door. Never want to go out, doesn't bother me. But at the end of the day, you're going to have to get used to it, because it is not going to be for 3 weeks. It's going to go on longer and longer and longer. The government are saying that to keep people calm. So I'm not scaremongering you, it's going to go on for longer.
Michelle's got a lemon sherbet and a red wine.
You've got a lemon sherbet and a red wine. That's really class, that, Michelle. The two go together really well. The Michelle I'm talking about as well, that lives in Calahonda and likes to tell everybody that she lives on Riviera del Sol. David and I were Riviera del Sol. Well, we were more Miraflores, actually. Far more expensive. But Michelle is the lady that I do the radio show with when I'm in Spain, and there's the photographs there. So yes to Sue and everybody in Spain and all my friends in Torremolinos. We do miss you so much, and we're thinking about you all the time. We really are, and we can't wait to come home. We really can't. When this is all over, God forbid when that will be, but we'll get there, and we really will.
Karen said, "Oh well, the old Tupperware rolling mat, love it."
Yes, Karen. Now, somebody noticed it was Tupperware, how fabulous of it. That used to be my mum's, and I think she bought that in the 70s, and I've got it now. And I adore it. I just think it's so much easier, especially if you're doing a pie crust, because the sizes are on it. So it's brilliant, so you can get it to exactly where you want, instead of trying to put the tin over it and guess where you've got the size. Fabulous. I love anything that saves time.
Roxy River said 2 soups, Julie Walters in brackets.
Yeah, 2 soups. I'll show you the soup, because
Well,
I forgot to do that.
Jane's asking, what soup do you
Right,
are you cooking?
I've made a Scotch broth or a chicken broth with barley. Everybody else. I make all my soups in a slow cooker. If you've not got a slow cooker, just do it in a pan on the top of the stove. I'll show you the inside. I've got a liner. I use slow cooker liners. So that's cooking away, and in that are 2 chicken breasts, 4 sticks of celery, 6 carrots, 8 leaves of cabbage, white cabbage or green cabbage or dark green cabbage, whatever you've got hanging about, and 2 large onions, 2 cups of pearl barley, which is a no-soak, you don't need to pre-soak it overnight, it will just cook right through, and about 2 quarts of chicken stock. And because I'm trying to cut down on our salt intake and things like that, I'm actually using chicken oxo cubes, which are very, very low salt. So you get the same thing, a little bit of salt and pepper in the crock pot. That's been in there since about 11:30 this morning, okay? And that'll be ready for dinner around 6, okay? And that's what I meant to say to you. I actually put the chicken breasts in whole. I don't chop them up first, or I put them in whole in the bottom and let the whole thing cook through, because then the chicken will just literally break apart. And as I put it into the soup tureen, I shred the chicken with 2 forks before it goes on the table. So it really does disperse through it, and you get a much nicer than those lumps of chicken that break down anyway. And it's just easier. See, anything for the easiest. Teach you anything that literally saves time. People haven't got time to be sat in kitchens all freaking day like me. So anything else? Is anybody else
Dean said his auntie in Louisiana used to make all this every day. It's wonderful. He said the biscuits he would eat with grits and bacon.
Oh God, yeah, Anthony.
Michael
Wow.
in America said this is my midday break, enjoying it.
Fabulous. I'm just going to check my oven from here. I can actually do it.
Maxine Zimmer said her mum loves the show.
Oh, thanks, Viv.
He said, Paul said, will the biscuits not spread together when cooking and you
No,
end
they
up
will
with one
spread
giant
slightly
one?
and touch. Really, I could have done with a slightly bigger baking sheet. But for the purposes of this, I used that one. If you want to spread them out and you've got a wide room, great. I've not. So just keep an eye on things as well. And it's the other thing I always say to people, you can't. There was a thing on Facebook the other day, how to cook black chicken. Put a chicken in the oven, turn it on, and go and sit on Facebook. Can't do that. Even if you've got a timer set and you walk around the house with a timer, I like to just keep having a little look, but don't whip your oven door wide open if it's something that's rising, because you'll drop the temperature of the oven, okay?
Mary said, show us how to make carrot cake.
Yeah, Mary, you've asked this 1,000 times. I can put the recipe on, but I can't make carrot cake on a live TV show because it would take me too long. And then we'd have to take the whole afternoon for it to cool before I could actually frost it. Okay, a cake takes hours and hours to cool after it comes out of the oven, so I can't physically make this on this. I could do a still photography of it and put that on for you in the recipe. And I'm sure the recipe for my carrot cake, I won't swear to it, but I'll swear it's. I swear I'm not swearing. You know what I mean? It's in my album, Nana's recipe box. Which, if you go into my photographs, go to my album, it should be there. If it's not there, I will put the ingredients on how to do it.
Michelle said we're all going to come out of this overweight alcoholics, day 11 of lockdown. Going
Michelle,
loopy.
see what I mean? My friends in Spain, 11 days they've been locked in the house. And people are moaning, Michelle, over here after a freaking day.
Michael said, is there going to be a cookery book we can buy?
Oh, that'd be fabulous, wouldn't it, Michael? It's always been one of my dreams, actually, to make a cookery book and call it the Cheats Cookbook. Teach you how to cheat things. If you watch the YouTube channel, Michael, I have a YouTube channel. Go to YouTube. Just put in Terry Fox and it will bring you up the whole channel with there's about 12 episodes of my other cookery show. And on that I do teach people how to cheat by using Betty Crocker cake mixes and adding things to them so nobody would know it's come from a cake mix. Not everybody has got the skill to do everything from scratch. I'll be honest with you, doing this in real time, I am at the moment shitting myself whether this comes out right, because I will be an absolute laughingstock if it doesn't. So, you know, we're doing this with you as it's supposed to be, so let's hope everything comes out as it should.
Roxy said you're doing really well live. Not as easy as it looks.
It's not as easy as it looks, Matt. And you know, if they're doing it live on a live TV show like this morning or something, or Regis and whatever in America, they've got another one cooked under the counter, and as that camera moves, they're swapping things over, and there's a team of 12 people. I'm me and David holding a camera, and that's it. And I'm trying to do it in exact real time.
Charles said he's on day 12 of lockdown. He'd been out once for 45 minutes.
But Charles, you're very good at things like that, and you can always. I just don't understand why. It must be hard if you live in a city apartment like you do, Charles, and you've not got a terrace and you've got nowhere to actually physically get outside. That must be really hard. Like people in the UK that live in apartments and haven't got an outside. Yeah, so but you're allowed to go out for a little bit of exercise, which is cool. And I suppose if you live in a smaller apartment, there isn't that much you can fill your time with. For me to be trapped in the house, perfect. You know, I'll spend a whole day just stripping the kitchen cupboards out and washing everything down and, you know, rearranging the kitchen. I could spend a day doing that. I could actually spend months finding things in the house to do. So, and I don't mean just decorating. I can actually find that many jobs doing it. I don't really have the time to be going out every day.
Dan's got a question.
Yeah?
Would these biscuits work using feta cheese instead of parmesan?
Yes, Dan. I've made them with feta cheese. They are absolutely stunning with feta cheese. If you crumble it really, really fine Really crumble it between your fingers and use a whole block. One block does that amount. Absolutely stunning with feta cheese. Beautiful. Yeah, anything else while we're still waiting? Another thing is, I said to everybody, the biscuits don't have to go with the soup. You can let them cool. You can let them cool and use them for sandwiches. They're stunning if you cut them in half. I'm trying to find you bread recipes, because it is a bread that doesn't need yeast, okay, and doesn't need bread flour, which is getting difficult to find at the moment in the stores.
Michelle said they're trying to extend it for another 2 weeks, and she said, I live in the Riviera, capital letters.
Yes, I know you don't live in Riviera. I know exactly where you live, Michelle. I'm not going to give your address out, but I know exactly where you live. I've seen it. Yours is the house that you're selling all these cheap toldos to people all over Spain, and your windows are filthy. They need a good clean.
Karen said she used to sell it. She's on about the Tupperware mat. This is
did you, Karen?
That's Tony's mum, by the way.
Oh, right, Karen. How fun. Were you a Tupperware lady, Karen? I collect 1970s and 1960s Tupperware, Karen. I can't stand the modern ones. Absolutely hate it.
James is asking, is there a vegan version?
Of what?
Probably the biscuits.
Of the biscuits. Yeah, use vegan cheese. Use vegan butter, use vegan cheese, whatever fats you're allowed to use if you're vegan. God knows why you're vegan, but I'm not going into that. I was vegetarian for 15 years, but I certainly wasn't vegan. Just use the vegan equivalents of the amounts I'm giving you. Don't change the amounts though, okay?
Dean's put a comment on lockdown. Tip for all the UK. Prisoner Cell Block H is on YouTube, all 700 episodes.
Yeah, well...
We've watched them all, Dean.
Dean, I've got all of Prisoner Cell Block H, the original series, on DVD. Every single night when I go to bed, I watch episode 1 to episode 400 when B leaves. And as it gets to 400, I go straight back to episode 1. I don't watch them in one night, but I watch 2 or 3 episodes a night, and I watch that on a complete constant loop via YouTube.
Michael's got a good question. Where do you get the cooking liners from?
The cooking, like which Michael's asking, America or?
Hamilton.
Hamilton. Right, I buy them online on eBay, but they are available in Sainsbury's, sell them, and I was told the other day, I think it's the Pound Shop or B&M Bargains, one of those sell them. It's just so easy because you never ever have to wash the crock pot. Just be careful when you're stirring, you don't tear through it, because after it's been in for a while, they become a bit perishable, okay? Right, so our bread pudding with brioche is out of the oven and cooked and finished, and there you go. You can see there's just a slight wobble to it.
It's a bit dark.
Is it a bit dark?
Let me get it.
That's
That's better.
there? Is that better?
Yeah.
There's a slight wobble to it, which is what you want, okay? Well, that is cooked and ready, and you serve that. I'm coughing and I've not got Kavona. Serve that with either fresh cream or whipped cream, you know.
Custard and cream.
Choice. You want custard and cream. You would do, wouldn't you? You've got to be awkward, David. Well, there's a war on. We're about 2 minutes away from our biscuits to come out of the oven. And I will explain with the biscuits as well. If you don't want to add the cheese and the green onion, I do cheese and minced jalapeno peppers. You can also omit the cheese and the onions and peppers all together and just do buttermilk biscuits, which are plain. Okay, and that, in that case, if you don't like cheese and you don't like the onions, and also again, stunning as a sandwich, cut them in half, ham, cream cheese, absolutely beautiful. So, and they will last, they really will last in the fridge. I stick them in the fridge in a Ziploc bag, and they last a few. In this house though, things don't last more than a day. You can put, you know, a dozen things in the refrigerator and you go back to it an hour afterwards and they've all gone. So you should be able to stay there, sweetheart, if you want with your light. Because I'm not going to move. I'm only going to bring these out of the oven and I'm going to do it at the table. So, save it because you've been on your feet all morning. I'll just have a quick bake.
Actually, again. Maxine Zinnerman said, have you used chickpea juice instead of egg white in your cooking? If so, what do you think?
No, I never have, Maxine. I'm not a huge lover of all these, like, use this as an alternative and that an alternative, unless it's like at the moment and it's getting really, really hard to get. And the thing with eggs are getting really, it's ridiculous. I mean, how people are stockpiling eggs, I will never, ever know.
Jane Freeman said you should 100%
no,
buy your
Maxine,
book.
I've not.
100% you should have your own TV show.
Oh, thank you, madam. Well, what you all need to do if you think I should have a TV show is bombard, you know, download this after I've finished and it goes onto the Facebook, download it, get it and send it in. Send it to like this morning, I don't know, Granada, anywhere you want, just send it in. I'm willingly do I'll do it for free. at the end of the day, because these people are overpaid anyway, in my opinion, on ridiculous amounts of money. Did you actually see the wages thing? Because they have to make all the wages legal now and online of what people are actually being paid. My God! Pugface, what's she called? Jane McDonald. I nearly died what she was on. Absolutely ridiculous. I remember when she was on 3 and 6 a night. Right, let's check.
Sending love to you as well, Darren.
Which Darren?
Darren Bibb.
Hi, Dad. Is it you or is it Sam watching?
No, Darren, not Spencer.
Oh, it's Darren. Right, we're out of the oven. We cooked. We are done. Can you see?
Yeah.
And these will be literally so light.
Let me just turn around again because it's dark.
Oh, and I've just thrown one at the table. I'll come that way for you. Once they're cooked, take them off the tray, use a fish slice, and put them on a cooling rack. Don't let them cool on the baking sheet. Okay? The cookie sheet will create steam underneath. It'll make the bases go soggy and they'll be absolutely hideous. All right? So let's just, I have got clean fingers because you've just watched me wash my hands. And there we go. We've got rustic buttermilk biscuits, nice and square.
Michael said, looks so delightful, yummy.
There you go. So you see, there's somewhere in me, I must be some old American housewife really, because I seem to turn out these American recipes out better than I actually turn out British ones. I'm going to grab some more coffee from my 1968 coffee pot. I feel so Rhoda when I pour that. Poor Valerie Harper, not with us anymore. Right then, what else could
Danny
we...
McCall, batter David. He won't give you my comments. What have you commented, Danny?
My lovely Danny McCall.
Love to you both, he said. Why do you want me to get battered?
He likes anything like that.
Does
He's
it?
mental. Danny's the
Fucking batter
gorgeous,
him.
Danny's the very handsome Danny McCall that used to be in Brookside a few years ago. Are you on lockdown in...
I'll have to move, it's losing connection.
It's losing connection. Are we back on?
We need more cameras.
Are we back on or not?
Yeah, we're on.
Oh, we're on, right. What we really need is we need 4 cameramen, don't we? We take them from every single angle.
Michael said the wages they get is shocking.
Oh, the wages are just absolutely diabolical and disgusting what they're giving people.
Sue said, let's start a petition to get Terry on her own cooking show.
So we've got 10 minutes to the end. Right, Sue, get petitioning it. Get onto the television companies. Tell them I'll work for free, just expenses. As long as Kyle can come and do me hair.
Michael said that'd be good with white gravy or pepper gravy.
Oh, pepper gravy. Yum, yum, yum. Michael, you're now going to start getting people asking me to make pepper gravy and God knows what else, which I will do if I get round to
Maria
it.
said I can fair smell them from here.
Good girl. The smell is absolutely divine. It really is. And when I photograph the table later on tonight, you'll see exactly the soup cooked and the way we put those out. But if you're going to use them as a sandwich...
You've done it now, Jeremy.
Nice just as they are. Split in half. Lots and lashings of butter in the middle. Divine. But fabulous with the soup. David likes to put his in the bowl and the soup over it.
John said, F-U-C-K the coffee, get the Smirnoff.
Yeah, well, I don't do... Everybody's under this illusion I'm pissed morning, noon and night. I'm only pissed at night. Not morning, noon, night. Can you imagine what the house would look like if I was drinking vodka from the first thing in the morning? I have been known to take a belt of vodka first thing in the morning with my Valium. I just find it makes the pills work faster, you know.
Roxy said, I have never spent so much time in the latte on my dish with me lally tappers up.
Oh, you got your lolly tappers up on the coffee table. Does your mother know?
Does she mean her legs?
Yes.
Yeah.
A lolly tappers.
Roxy Rivers, that.
That's how lovely Roxy Rivers used to be our DJ till she left to go on to bigger things, and I do miss her. I know I say it every broadcast, but I really, really do miss her. I miss all our staff at the moment. Every single one of them.
Danny said, get a vodka in that coffee. Then he said, morning, noon, and fucking night.
See, this is Danny McCall when he's on television. He's so gentlemanly and so nice, and his mouth is fucking disgusting. I mean, and I never utter a fucking swear word. I swear to bastard Jesus I don't. I'm done now, won't I?
Coco's put on Miss Jaeger bombs. I bet you do.
I bet you do, Coco, you see, you should have stocked up and you should have been sat making Jaeger bombs in the house. Can't you get it delivered? Morrison's do a cheap rip-off Jaeger. Get Morrison's to deliver it to you, love. And also, supermarkets, why are you having problems with deliveries? Take extra people on. People need jobs, you know, take them on. Come on.
Michael in America said, I just enjoy these moments. Thanks so much for sharing all your talents. A lot of joy.
Oh, well, thank you, Michael. I've got the e-cig turned up too high. It's making me cough. It's just nice to sort of be with you. I don't want you to think that I'm ignoring everybody and I'm not there. So that's when we thought, what should we do? And my David said, do the cookery show and cook for people and show them how to make things that are simple and easy to make. And it's a good thing to do. You know, if you're stuck in the house, bake and cook from scratch. So much fun, so much easier. You know, I was going to say get the kids involved, but don't. The last thing I can imagine are kids messing with food while you're actually trying to cook. No, sling them out. If you want the kids to cook, give them something else to do. Give them their own bits of food. Mix it up in a bowl.
Simon Hewitt is saying, I'm doing chicken strips in tempeh batter, salad and new potatoes served with sweet chilli sauce. Just making my batter. The other half's driving an ambulance, so he'll be home at 7 o'clock.
Oh, divine. Divine. That sounds absolutely gorgeous. I wish I could come out and pop round for dinner. That sounds lovely. And God bless to your husband for driving an ambulance.
Danny McCall, she's lashing the vodka in coffee.
Danny, I'm not lashing vodka in coffee.
Barry said you just look settled in your new home. Why don't you have cream in your coffee?
I've never took cream in coffee since I was about 17. I absolutely can't stand the taste of milk in things. I think, I've never been tested for it, I think I'm actually a little bit lactose intolerant, because if I have milk in sort of cereal and things like that, it makes me sort of sick after a while if I have too much. But I can't stand coffee with milk in. The smell of it just makes me heave. I'm adjacent to vomiting thinking about it.
That's good to know, Shanice. Tesco's are employing 8,000 drivers.
Fabulous. See, Shanice is up, you see, because she works for Tesco's. So she's up on the snuff, is Shanice. Shanice, you're not driving, are you? I'd love to see Shanice actually delivering boxes of fruit and veg. I'd kill myself laughing.
Michael said you're an inspiration to all of us. It's great for those of us on our own.
I just think it's great if you all pull together. It's a shitty time all over the world, and the lovely thing is for David and I, we have connections in so many different countries, basically because both of us have lived in so many, and I've lived in even more. So it's sort of, I'm trying to keep everybody from Australia, America, Spain, the UK. I'm trying to keep everybody sort of entertained a little bit, and we're not taking it deadly serious. I'm not, cracking a whip and saying, you must do this in your kitchen. Have a giggle at me, for Christ's sake. This is why we're doing it completely live. The YouTube videos, as you see, I don't swear. There's no effing and blinding all the way through it. This one, it's live, and I want people to have a good time and a laugh. And if we can do it this weekend, we are going to try to actually film me do a show. I'm going to go downstairs onto the stage in the bar and actually do the show, which is going to be really difficult because Davey's going to have to operate the music and operate the camera because we've got no staff. So it should be an absolute giggle to try and do that. I need to let the dog out because he's at the door, plaiting his freaking leg.
Shanice said she's already on the ready meal.
Yeah, you're on a ready meal, Shanice. What, are you going out, Dilly, or what? Have you gone? Go on then, that way. What are you walking to your mummy's legs for? So, you're on a ready meal, Shanice. Why are you on a ready meal? You can cook. There's no need for ready meals. Do you know, honestly, I can't believe this is what the problem is with people's immune systems. If you read the back of anything that is ready-made and it's got numbers on it, trust me, don't eat it. It's just not worth it. And I certainly wouldn't feed my kids McDonald's, takeaway burgers. If you found out what was in them, no way. I certainly won't feed them chicken nuggets. Hideous. The only thing I would feed a child of mine from a freezer would be fish sticks, fish fingers. That's the only thing, because it's just pure cod. Other than that, no way. Not on God's earth would I. And those I don't even buy and make me own. When Logie comes, all the grandkids are here, I make fish fingers from scratch for them. It's easy. Anything else?
No.
What we like?
Oh, she's on the ready meal aisle in Tesco. She's not
on
the
ready meal aisle. Why? Is it probably because you're getting your staff discount and everything's on the whoops? So how long have we got without me spinning round to the clock?
Probably a couple of minutes.
Couple of minutes. So we got anything quick before we sign off? I'll keep you posted if we're going to be able to do a live show on Saturday night. We'll probably aim it for after, for the UK people and people in Spain that have got the Sky television, for after Ant and Dec, because I know you're all going to be glued to them too.
Diane said, does this mean we'll get some evening entertainment costumes and all?
Yeah, I can't do loads of the costume changes. I was going to say that because I've got nobody to change the costume for me, and obviously you'd have like all those minutes of the backing music.
I can't do everything.
While I was doing, I can't do this. So I'll wear a nice gown for you, and we'll do all the songs, and I'll probably let you do a few requests as well. So, but we'll do all the songs. We'll do Dusty, and we'll do Cher, and we'll do all that carry on, and we'll try and keep it a bit. We'll keep it a bit potty. We don't have to, at the end of the day, I'm not on stage. I'm not being paid. Well, I am on stage, but I'm not being paid. It's not a venue. It's only you in it watching. So we'll just have a giggle with it. And if you also are on Facebook all the time, clock on to a page that's on Facebook called Rock the Lockdown. And it's a lot of my friends that are in the business, that are singers, a lot of people on the Costa del Sol that are also on that, and they're doing live performances from their own home. If it's an act and you're watching them and they're doing a live show for you, and in the corner of the page it's got please donate via PayPal, please just give sort of 50p or a few cents or whatever you've got hanging about, just give it to them, because they've got no income whatsoever at the moment. So that's great, and that's upsetting me saying that. Who else have I got to give a shout out to as well? The lovely Kath Johns from CJ's on the Strip in Benalmadena in our hometown. She is doing a live show from her house every day. She's got her kids doing exercises every day, all live on the internet. So go on to Kath John's page and she'll give you the links to everything else to watch. Just amazing, absolutely amazing, the stuff that people are doing to keep everybody entertained. Because let's face it, what's on the television is an unadulterated bowl of stagnant piss and shit mixed together. It really is. Instead of putting on some reruns of something good, no, load of old crap. Thank God I don't watch modern television. So, I think we're at time, aren't we, darling?
Yeah.
We're at time. I'll let you all go to watch Boris at 5 o'clock. Thank you for joining me. And we will be back at the weekend with a show or with another cookery show. And we'll be back next week with a
No,
couple
Philip,
more
you
as well.
can't.
Philip, which Philip?
As.
Our Philip. That's my lovely Philip Lawrence Jones.
He wants to have a go with the dolly boobs.
You can have him, Phil. I'll send him round. My Philip has actually got coronavirus at the moment, so he's been really, really poorly. He's just starting to come round a little bit. So we send you all our love and we miss you so much, sweetheart. I just wish I was there to be able to look after you. Okay, everybody. Love you with all my mouth. Have a wonderful evening.
Oh, she is, Roxy, you're right.
What?
Roxy Rivers said Kitty Litter's doing a live performance at 6 o'clock.
Good girl, Kit. God bless you. That's fabulous.
Bye, Jeremy.
I will see you all soon. Love you with all my mouth. I'll keep you with little posts during the rest of the night. And I must point out, by the way, if you're like my friend Pauline and you live with an old woman, do not self-isolate your mother in the airing cupboard like my friend Pauline has. She self-isolated that old piss bag, Yoderin sling bags, in the airing cupboard with the tortoise. And I swear to God, and I said, with the tortoise? She said, yeah. I said, what about the smell? She said, well, if the tortoise dies, it dies. Try, everybody. See you later. Love you all. Bye.
Bye, everybody.